and
No,
leave?
no,
Right,
we do
why?
not.
Tell
because
us why, Sean.
Those games were super close the first time around. EnVyUs took Navi to OT on their map pick overpass. Very close on Inferno as well. It was like 16-12, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And the one thing that Navi has an edge on in the map picks is they're significantly better on 3 maps, right? They're better on Overpass, Nuke, and Mirage. And you're like, how is EnVyUs going to win? Well, the way a best of 3 works is you only get to play one of those maps because EnVyUs is going to ban one, you're going to pick one, and then they're going to ban the other one in the second stage. So, yeah, it's really awesome that Navi's significantly better on 3 maps, but they're only going to get one of those 3. You know,
Right.
so I do give them that map, but it is. With that being said, it's still an uphill battle. I'm not gonna lie.
Is Sean stretching Natus here?
He's being a sports romantic right now. It's going to be a fabulous fight between 2 great teams.
He's playing his job well.
In all honesty, though, it does feel like Navi was just, kind of cruising through that group stage, and it's a semifinal. I feel like they're going to be actually start ramping it up, and this might unfortunately become a stomp.
Okay, but if it isn't, and it isn't to do with maps, then it's to do with Kiyoshima, it's to do with Scream, because they've been playing fantastically well at this tournament.
I mean, if you just look pound for pound across like the heavy hitters of these teams, EnVyUs is not that far behind, are they? Like they have obviously Scream's been playing really well this tournament. Kyo's been chiming in. Sixer's been hitting some good shots with AWP as well. They've all been able to deliver. But the thing is that I do effectively still consider this EnVyUs lineup a mixed team, and day to day, I'm not really sure how does it translate. How they played yesterday, this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with how they played today. So what I do feel like, last time we were kind of thinking, when you're EnVyUs playing Navi, why don't you try and do the unconventional pick of Dust 2? You try to throw a bit of a curveball in there.
Right.
Be interested to see what they do today.
Okay. What have you made of Kyo's calling so far? I know it's very hard in isolation of one tournament and only half a dozen games, but what have you made of the early signs?
I think he's done a great job so far. I really do. Something that's way different from when he calls and the way Happy used to call is Happy would have like contingency plans like all the time. And that's why he was lurking on the other side of the map. People would call him a baiter all the time because if his team got stonewalled at the other site, they could roll back to him and there would be less numbers at his site. Whereas I noticed when Kiyoshima was calling, it's more of like a pick-based style throughout the entire round. If they don't get picks, they're literally just jamming into a site. Like they're trying to cram the square peg into the round hole at the end of the round. And it's been working really well because, I mean, I'm not going to lie, he has really skilled players on his team, a lot like Navi does. And they're playing actually really similar styles. Like Natus said, this is a rematch, and things can get weird in rematches a lot of the times when you have these tier 1, tier 2 teams. I don't know. It's a little bit different for EnVyUs though, because their playbook isn't as deep. So like even if
question is their playbook, or are they just throwing everything out there, by feel?
Part of this is enabling Scream, isn't it? I mean, Kyo said in his interview, he wants to be able to try and give him what he wants to do in the game.
That's like the one thing that could go awry right now for Navi is the individuals on EnVyUs could have like found some tendencies, because I don't think we're going to see like crazy anti-strats from the first best of 3, but we might see Scream step up, and Scream understands this guy plays this angle at this part in the round, and I learned that the first time around, and now I'm going to like push on that super quick. So we could see stuff like that.
I mean, I can see a world where EnVy manages to squeeze a lot of the rounds into the 3-on-3s, the 3-on-2, 2-on-3 situations where it then comes down to the individual skill and the team play with one another on the EnVy side. And then if they do have a couple massive rounds, yes, there's a world where they do pick up a map and then things can get dicey for Navi. But what is the likelihood? It's not very high.
Yeah, and then on the flip side of that, there isn't really a question of how do they enable Simple. It's more about do you want to play or do you not want to play? Yeah, yeah, that's the biggest headache for EnVy. But what are Navi's worries? What do they have to be careful of in this game?
I feel like they just gotta really play their own game and kind of try not to overthink of what EnVy is going to be doing, because I'm not sure how much logic is going to be behind whatever EnVy is going to be calling, considering the fact that they haven't really played with this 5-man unit. So they might do a bit of YOLO strats here and there, fast pushes and slow things down all of a sudden, all this kind of things. So for Navi, it's all about just sticking to your guns, play the way that you know best, and no need to come up with anything magical to go through this best of 3.
I think what always bites Navi is the fact that they're their own worst enemy. You see them, and Zeus is raging at Edward, Zeus is raging at Simple, Zeus is like raging at everyone. And the environment for that team when they lose looks terrible. Like, I don't understand how they get away with it sometimes.
It's a cultural difference.
Yeah, it's definitely a cultural
cultural.
difference when I watch them. Like, I don't understand how they do it. So I think if they like start dying in stupid ways and Zeus gets upset, that's the only way they lose this match, in my opinion, is stuff like that starts happening.
Okay. In terms of the fact that there's so much weight on them as well, obviously they're used to coping with weight of favourites and what have you, but here it seems even more direct, with all of the teams having changes and stand-ins and going through poor form and all the kind of it seems like there's more pressure on them here.
I mean, they are the massive favourites of winning this tournament, but considering the caliber of the players on these teams and the amount of history, the amount of experience they have being in these situations, I'm not really sure that's going to make a big difference, honestly.
Okay. Zeus, I want to talk to him, talk about him. I say it's been almost a year since he changed after winning the major with Gambit. It was such an incredible run through. Yeah. He had that moment afterwards where everyone was like, he's finally done it. He's done it without having to be at Na'Vi. And then he goes back to Na'Vi and everyone was just like, wait, what is going on? How do you assess that year that's coming up?
Yeah, so he's definitely... I have the utmost respect for Zeus, first of all. I'm unlike, the things you read in the community. I actually recently did a podcast with Thorn where I picked him as one of my 4 most influential leaders on my career. And he's reshaped the way he's called multiple times now. And with Simple in the lineup, he went from, Gambit, where he felt like he had to call more like rigid strats. And it was the first time in Zeus's career that I saw him calling executes when they won that major. Yeah. And now back, when Navi's on the team, it's more like he's letting Simple have freedom. He's letting Electronic have freedom. Even Flamey get some freedoms. If you watch Mirage, he might come out of Palace all by himself in a given round. And he's constantly switched up these styles over his career depending on the lineup. This style is actually super weird. I think Navi's a really vulnerable team that could potentially lose to anyone. But with that being said, you have to allow a player like Simple to have those kind of freedoms. And I can respect that Zeus is allowing that to happen.
Yeah, the creativity on this lineup is just unparalleled, honestly. How do you tame individuals like that? If you put them on a leash, you're just literally taking half of their capabilities away.
Yeah.
So, but then finding the balance between that freedom versus being smart about how you play, so that things don't get out of control. So it does take a lot of time, and it's been a year, and obviously a lot of the last 12 months have been a building process. It's been a bit of a struggle, but since they've been stuck with their guns, now it's finally starting to pay off. They've really found the rhythm.
And the things that Na'Vi really shines in my opinion, is trading kills, entering bomb sites, crossfires on CT sides, weird little things that when you watch, it's actually super difficult to see, right? But when you see Na'Vi do an A hit on Mirage, be aware of their spacing, because it is almost impossible to double kill them when they do these strats, which is the key on T side, and that gets lost even when you watch tier 1 teams. The worst thing that can happen when you do an execute on site is you get double killed, because then you lose the man up.
All right, I'm hearing that the players are ready, so let's head over to the stage right now.
经过了第1场半决赛之后啊，现在我们的主场队伍天路啊已经离开了本届的比赛。当然了，前4也是非常棒的成绩。那对于观众朋友来说，接下来可以更加没有思想上的负担，更加纯粹的去欣赏这些世界顶尖的 CS:GO 队伍在比赛中的优异表现。好的，接下来马上要开始的是第2场的半决赛。那么第一支登场的队伍将会是 Navi， 让我们来看一下他们的选手介绍。Welcome on stage, Navi. Okay guys, welcome to the main stage, and I wish you have good luck. Please take your seats and get ready. Thank you. Please take your seats and get ready. Thank you.好的，那么他们的对手就是在昨天经历了苦战，最终晋级了4强，他们就是 EnVyUs。接下来我们来看一下 EnVyUs 的短片。让我们掌声欢迎 EnVyUs。Welcome on stage, EnVyUs。Okay, guys, thank you. Please take your seats and get ready. Good luck.
Okay then, both teams have entered the stage and will get themselves ready, and we'll discuss a little bit more as a preview for this semi-final, Envy versus Na'Vi. Last time, of course, they took each other on. It was the 2-0 in the group stage. As you rightly said, it was on paper, you looked at it and just went, 2-0, Na'Vi, Envy in all sorts of trouble, just come together, only had a week to practice. That looks about right. Yeah. But actually, if you look deeper, it was closer than it would suggest on paper. Very close.
I mean, they went to overtime on Na'Vi's pick of overpass, a map historically EnVyUs isn't really good on, and that was like a grind. It's not like, you know, they won the pistol and ran away with each half to like 5-0 leads. No, they were actually grinding away, and their pick strats were working really well on T-side. They had really cool, innovative boost on the balloons at party to look into long, and it actually didn't work. But if they were to replay, I would bet it would work, because Simple's on that planner a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it might well be that we end up replaying. It was overpassing Inferno last time round. We've got the map vetoes incoming right now. We'll see whether it ends in the same way. Are you expecting the same maps, Natus?
I kind of am. I mean, Cash and Nuke are going to be out the occasions to start things off, but Cash and Nuke, Cash and Nuke in the first phase. But here comes the kind of what is the pick going to be for Envy. They're going to go for Inferno this time around. It's a map that. Yeah, they played in the last one as well.
Yeah,
right?
it was
so
the last one.
It's pretty much the same, except now Mirage is going to be Na'Vi's pick. Yeah, so instead of Overpass, they're going to go to Mirage.
Right.
I guess it makes sense considering it was a very, very close affair in the previous one. So this time around, they go for another strength of there, which is Mirage.
All right, and we'll end on train if we need it. I mean, obviously, you made the point earlier on. They've got 3 maps. They get 2 bans. They're going to get rid of both. So which one do you take? Is Na'Vi have preferred Mirage this time?
Yeah, I really like how Na'Vi approached this, because as the favorites, and like I said, having 3 maps that they're significantly better on, if they were to do the same exact vetoes, EnVyUs has seen everything that they've done, you know? So they have that card in their hand. They could have picked Mirage or Overpass here and been significant favorites on that map. Why not choose the one that EnVyUs has also shown weakness on throughout the entire event, when they put like Heroic, for example? They looked super weak on Mirage. I mean, we saw, I think the B bomb site, Sixer had a lot of problems at that B bomb site. Thorin tore him up, actually, in the first game.
So I think he actually gave him MVP.
Yeah, he did indeed.
For the other team.
Yes. He is one of the few players to get an MVP in a losing effort.
Yes. Albeit for the other team.
Yes.
Natu, what do you expect? Now we know the maps. Does that change anything for you?
Doesn't really. I mean, I was going for Na'Vi to begin with, and like Sean is saying, you know, there's so many strengths that lie in Na'Vi's favor in terms of the map already, so them having the ability to go for Mirage, which hasn't been a great map so far in this tournament for Envy, gives you more of a reason to go just to favor Na'Vi in this series.
We've talked about the keys to victory, I guess, in this particular series, and we've talked about Electronic, and we've talked about Simple, and we've talked about Scream, and we've talked about Keo. Those seem to be the crucial 2 on both sides, but we also made the point earlier on that the other 3, that could actually be where things are decided, because we know those 4 are going to play well. They're going to have a good game. It's what the other 3 do, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think if someone like Edward has a good game, it's GG. Like, it's literally absolutely GG. Edward has been like the 3rd best player recently, like actually ahead of Flamey, which is probably pretty shocking to most people. But he's been getting a significant amount of double kills on really important, crucial gun rounds, which is honestly like the most important thing in a Counter-Strike match.
Yeah, and another. If you would look at it from an Envy point of view, I've been super impressed watching Haji play. Not necessarily this tournament, he hasn't really had that like superstar kind of a performance yet, but he has the potential to really be an impactful player. Very, very good closer. Really good in those post-tactic situations. The 3-on-3 such. Usually makes a lot of good decisions. So he's the one to watch. If he gets his game going, especially in the late round situations, he can definitely be pivotal here to make this a close affair.
Here is the man at the moment. Had an absolutely incredible quarterfinal. Fantastic games from Scream. The headshot one-tap king was back in form, that's for sure. When it came to the quarterfinals, they'll be looking for
jersey,
another.
by the way.
Yeah, we were complimenting that jersey when they walked out. That is,
Yeah,
it's
are you liking that?
aesthetically pleasing
it
jersey.
actually looks very much like a Finnish team jersey.
Oh, I see what you did there. It has kind of got that white and light blue going on, hasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like Mika Häkkinen's helmet.
I don't know how I feel
Yeah,
about playing
sure.
with long sleeves on. I'm not a fan of playing with long sleeves.
Me neither. I used to always
do it.
roll my sleeves to
Yeah.
add a long sleeve.
I've been told it's quite chilly out there on the
Oh.
stage. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why
so.
the long sleeves have come out. Yeah, you're not allowed that, Fabian. No Twitter post now. Six has been. I'm looking for the right adjective, but inconsistent would seem to be reasonable here.
No, and within a game as well,
Yes.
right? Like in the same game, he would go on and have a massive 3K round, which would pretty much seal the deal for Envy, to then go on to have weird moves, missing shots that he should have made 10 out of 10 times, and costing his team a round. So, and the best of 3 against Heroic is a great example because he had a terrible Mirage.
Yeah.
Then we moved on to Train, and he had massive impacts.
Yeah, he actually kicked off the match too, like a 2K on pistol.
Yep.
And one of the early gun rounds, he got the 3K opping like by the sandwich position, like swiveling around, 4 different angles. So it's not like he was hitting easy shots. Yeah, he's such a weird player, right? Like he is very inconsistent. I think he used the perfect word to describe him.
Hadji, the last man on the row for Envy. Not a huge amount of experience, Natu.
How'd you know?
In terms of LAN experience and
No.
big tournaments, he seems to be coping fine with it. I mean, like you said, he hasn't had that kind of like, oh my God, he's the next Rops, he's the next Simple, he's the next Nico. But he's done everything fine. He's not been overwrought by it. He doesn't seem to have been nervous. He's played his positions well. Everything seems okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's very, very, very early on in his career. He's just moved from the academy team to the main team. No one knows what the future will lie for this player, but like I said, I've been super impressed watching him play online, and just having that closer factor. Not a lot of players have that kind of knack for making the right moves in those close round situations.
Yeah,
Sean, I want to ask you, just before you come over, do you think like being French is actually a hindrance to him? Because you know what the French scene is like, it produces all these amazing players,
that's
but then they put them on a big team and then they're going, we'll move him slowly over there for a few years. Body, for instance. Well, he'll be back at some point if he's good. It just seems there's so many good players, and then when they're given that kind of spotlight chance, they've got to be a Kenny S or a Scream. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll find another one.
I think the French scene, more than any other scene, it's crazy because North America has been criticized for this for a long time of not allowing big-name players to rise up, right? But we've recently seen, like you said, Body was given a chance, and now we have Hadji on this team given a chance. So maybe they're changing their ways a little bit. Existence it's kind of weird.
He's been giving it a chance.
Smith. Yeah, he's given another chance, I guess.
This new player from Belgium called Existence. I don't know. I've never heard of him before.
It just feels like they recycle the same names over and over.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the ones that rose up, so obviously he has something going for him. And like Natu said, he's an excellent late-round player, which is very, very rare when you see young, up-and-coming talent, because you have to stay poised in those situations, and you also have to understand rotations and how people move around the map. So it just goes to show, how much work he's probably put into analyzing those kind of things.
Okay, I want to ask you a bit of a wider question now as well. We were talking downstairs before we came back up on air. Counter-Strike's in a good place right now. It feels like the game itself is good, well balanced. It's not perfect by any means. No game can be.
It's never perfect, is it?
But it feels like it's in a good spot. 5 years ago, we were saying it's odd. When you look at the game, if you were an indisciplined team or a brand new team or a team coming together with stand-ins, you'd never have a real shot at a tournament because playing on T-side, you'd need strategy and you'd need to be able to get the bomb planted. It was very difficult to break down CTs because, I don't know, maybe they had set spots and it was all pretty rigid and we all knew how to play them, right? Yeah. Whereas today, it feels the other way around. It feels like if you're CT side, you now need more strategies to cope with the incoming attackers.
Yeah, I love where CS is at right now because it feels like there's such an immense amount of knowledge available to learn. Like there's so many YouTube channels, there's so many streams, stuff that we didn't grow up with. Paul we did not grow up with these things.
Definitely didn't.
So now we see
Molotovs. What?
We see these young players rising up because there's information that's readily available for them to learn and be able to improve very, very quickly. And that's why you see such a high level, even if a stand-in is available for like for a team.
I think a great example is when that new update came out and Mirage, there's no skybox anymore, and all I have to do is go to Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden I find like 15 new smokes that we can utilize. So yeah, no, that has a massive impact. I think another factor is also that we have much more high-level gather systems now, you know, the FPLs and such, where all these players are coming up. Everyone has a chance to qualify and play with these top European, and same with North American players, and which will then obviously the thinking and the skill set and everything will just triple down to the players that are coming up as well. So there's more possibilities to be playing against and with better players. So all that combined is basically the factors.
You mentioned those smokes on Reddit about Mirage. We saw Heroic use one of the Reddit smokes, which they literally probably got from Reddit. You know? Like, it's not like they independently found that smoke at the same time.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's like some sort of Olaf boost or something.
Yeah.
That was found on
delete.
Reddit, wasn't it,
Please
originally?
delete. Yes.
I'm fascinated by the fact that the game has changed, and yet it's such an old game. When we think back to, you know, what did you start playing? 1.5, 1.3?
Probably 1.3, maybe a little bit before.
Natus was even before that, because I know he played in the beta.
I played in 99.
Yeah.
It was the first time I played CS.
Yeah, that's 20 years next year, buddy. You can get your coin.
Listen, 20
years.
years.
The 5-year coin, the 10-year coin,
Valve, please
20-year coin.
Make me. You gotta make me like a custom 20 euro coin, please.
A 20-euro coin.
I'll send him my personal information.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I like that. We should definitely get some 10 and 15s done. There's
I
a few
I
of
think
us
the
in that
15
class.
is on its way.
Is it?
Is it?
I might be lying, but I've heard some stuff on the internet, which is more than often lies. But we're about to find out, I guess.
Yeah, not too far away. We're hearing that one of the players has got a mic issue, so we'll get that fixed for him. In the meantime, let's dip into our social media questions. Thank you so much to all of you that have placed the questions in our social media threads. We'll try and get through as many as we can on our final day. This one is thoughts on Barbar as an IGL. Seems to have led some successful Tier 2 Swedish teams and can frag pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it can be a coincidence that he has basically been like a how should I put it, like a farmer type of guy who's just have these kids come up and then move on. You know, he was like the daddy of Epsilon with a lot of great players coming through. You think of like Disco Dopplan and Rez and those guys, you know, going through. Who else? Draken played with them as well, didn't he?
What was that 1.6 team he was on?
A bunch of them, mate. There was a bunch of them.
Makers.
He's been playing for the longest time anyway.
Yeah.
No, but it cannot be a coincidence that he's definitely he's never really been able to make his way into like the Tier 1 Counter-Strike in either version or any of the versions really. Yeah. But he's always been up there, you know, fighting. Now he's in CS:GO. He's kind of been a team that's been in the minors and Tier 2 and fighting his way and being responsible for a lot of these young talents to then have the skill sets to move on into Tier 1. So. No, I have a lot of respect for him. He's a cool guy as well, and it seems like he's happy to do what he does.
Yeah, I mean, is there a space, Sean, in this industry, or will there be in the future, let's hope so, as it grows, for people like scouts and trainers that can actually scout a player, go, this kid's got some potential, and now I'm going to train him how to do the basics of a pro gamer, or, you know, learn... Duncan was saying earlier, learn English. If you're a foreign student, you're 15, 16, you want to be a pro, learn English, because you can then go anywhere. You're not limited to your country. You know, if you grew up in Serbia or Bosnia, for instance, as some of our players, our top players have, in the past, that would have been very difficult for them to join a FaZe, for example, or a Mouse Sports, whereas they can do that now.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of, you know, prying and digging to find these players. So I do think that position will be available. I mean, it was super difficult, even for me to find, you know, Amonik and Devo Duvek. I sorted through so many HLTV stats, and then I had to watch, you know, dozens of their demos before I ever contacted them, and that takes a lot of time from a player, you know. So from an organizational point of view, having someone that does that to get these hidden talents like Rops and, you know, like Barbar does probably for his team, that would be tremendously valuable.
Yeah, something that doesn't necessarily happen right now, but it is in other sports, and
I feel like
valuable roles.
That has to be the future, right? I mean, that's one of the key things in all of esports is that we have to kind of also build that foundation of grassroots levels. How do we harvest from all this mass that we have in terms of players, the ones that are the super talented individuals, right? So that's something that esports needs to figure out.
Yeah, and there's also other teams don't want to be spending $1 million buying Simple every week, do they?
Yeah.
Well, except for FaZe. They're okay with that, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Let's do some predictions then before we move on. Gents, which way? I think you're all on board here, aren't you?
This is going to be that yellow-black train.
All right. Choo-choo.
Yeah, I painted the path for EnVyUs to maybe win this, but Meanwhile, I'm going around towards the back, and I'm going to go Na'Vi 2-0.
What a surprise. All right, okay.
Shocking news.
Both gone for Na'Vi, unfortunately. We thought Sean was going to play, the role, but no deal here. Let's head back to our commentary, or rather a new commentary team for our second semi-final. Lads, it's all yours.
Don't make it awkward. I'm looking at you. Talk.
Okay. Yes, Counter-Strike. It's time for EnVyUs, and it's time for Na'Vi. And it's going to be an interesting one because, of course, Na'Vi, they won Star Series recently. They had to run through a lot of really good teams to do that. They are a team that is good at peaking towards the end of the tournament. So, I never would like to judge the form that we've seen of them in the prior days to the form that they could potentially deliver today. Like, I would imagine it's going to be lifted. They know it's serious. Got the semi-finals here, and this is their tournament. This is it's got their name written all over it. All they have to do is just follow through. And EnVyUs, I mean, they've got nothing to lose at this point. They're going to be up against a team like Na'Vi. They can hold their heads high, with what they've accomplished this tournament so far. I think the pressure's off of EnVyUs right now, which actually makes them a lot more dangerous.
Where's the flag of China on Six's chair? I think he's forgotten it today, unfortunately. But he should have the crowd behind him for the time being. The sole representative now after Tyloo's exit to Virtus Pro. Na'Vi starting on the CT side, Sixer and Envy on the T side. We need to see a consistent Sixer today, that is for sure. XMS and Kishima will be grenade men for the EnVyUs side. No P250 for Scream in this round, and he was pretty crucial in a previous pistol with that P250, so we'll see if he can do the job here with the Glock.
Pretty scary to have Na'Vi starting on the CT side if they are to win this pistol. So let's see if EnVyUs' assault is going to work out here. Just harassing the B-bomb site, trying to keep players there. This is going to work out really well because the stack's on this bomb site, and they're just going to run in here, go for the fake. The bomb's in the apartments, though, and Kyushima's going to double back. So this is really interesting. There is definitely a big window of time here. Look at that. Now Zeus spots everything, and it's the A retake. It is on.
They need to get control of the pit position. They've got two players on the site now, Envy. Six is moving up to the top mid area, exchanging some blows with Electronic. He's holding the line, allowing his teammates to move in. As they move in towards short, he will take over towards long. Zeus is being picked off. He was the only man towards A earlier on. Edward, Electronic, and Flamey left 3 on 3. Haji picked off, was only on 1 HP, I think. And there's Kishima in the pit with the alternative angle. He will be a problem for these CTs to deal with. But once they're coming into the short position, Scream gets one, but not one more. And it will be Na'Vi to take the CT pistol. Edward with a 2K finishing things off.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's so perfect as well, wasn't it? We had EnVyUs, running the fake against the B stack, the fake being on B. That's just, you can't really ask for a more perfect round there, and it doesn't work out, which is a bit heartbreaking. But they did get the bomb planted, of course, and obviously that's a great consolation. Does let you get those AK-47s out much sooner than later to keep that pressure on. And so there's not going to be a point in which they're going to feel out of the game here. Just one hard eco, then get the AKs going. That said, there are some teams that do have strats where they do go for a force buy in this round, which can make things interesting. But EnVyUs will be playing it simple. Makes sense. They don't have too much in the way of time to prepare for this tournament, so I would be surprised to see anything but the basics from them. And we see the full save. So
Zeus and Electronic, well, mainly Zeus, went for a play in the apps position, which is cool because in a round such as this, you might be expectant of 4 players coming in the apartments and a flashbang from top mid to try and use a numbers game, but Envy have slowed things down quite a bit.
Playing against the meta, the mid rushes are really common in these full anti-eco rounds. The CTs know that they're going to be saving. Super likely they'll be saving, so most teams actually do rush mid. Kind of likely, but not Na'Vi.
Most CT teams.
Yes, indeed, but not Na'Vi. They are patient, waiting to make their money. This actually works out, I think, pretty damn well, honestly. If you're looking at EnVyUs, getting 2 frags in a round like this is fantastic. Forcing some rebuys, and now they get the AKs out. It actually really puts them in a good spot.
Bonus frags. We should try and figure out the value of a bonus frag in different situations. Simple on the sniper rifle in the first buy round for both sides. Always what you love to see. You love to see it. Edward won't have a helmet. He dropped the AWP for Simple, he sacrificed himself. And we've seen some... we've seen more attrition than you might have liked to see from the point of view of Na'Vi over towards Banana in a number of games of Inferno, where Edward has been picked off early. So maybe the AWP will change the approach. You can see they've got a 3-man setup in case there was a faster play, but it seems that Zeus will be rotating back towards A. Banana is firmly in control. I don't think Envy will want to take that anytime soon. Yeah,
I think that's a really cool peek from Simple, because there's lots of ways you can think about where you put your AWP at the beginning of a round like this. I do think that it's hard to read for EnVyUs whether the AWP's going to be out necessarily straight away. And it's like Simple made the correct guess that we players walking up this angle. Surely not again, though. Oh, got to be careful not to give Simple anything more here for free. And it looks like he won't get anything, but he does, from a kill perspective, but he does get some information for his team.
Yeah, this is one of the ways you like to see a sniper rifle player play, where they can just fall back and constantly have additional angles to take, reset the situation. So he's had 2 engagements already, and he was at the front of the site, which will avoid a fair few flashbangs as well, but he's taken a more passive position now around the pillar at the back. Edward is still in a boosted position. Zeus has been going backwards and forwards, but now he is far back towards the A site, so there will be no pull flashes for these CTs to play with. But you can see Envy not committing just yet. They've got Sixer in the arch position. He's about to engage Zeus, so he might be trying for a wrap, but Zeus has held that down. In the meantime, Simple now running distraction, getting a tag, and there's Edward to clean up the rest of it. Very surgical and clean by Na'Vi. They don't take a single point of damage in that round.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? EnVyUs. They did well in the previous round to get a couple kills to put some pressure on the economy, but they gotta need to follow that up, because now they're on to a safe round. And I mean, like Simple having the AWP there and peeking in the way that he did to get the opening frag, that's so awesome, because it puts a lot of initiative onto the T side to then make a play, and then what they can do from that position is more limited, because on the 3rd round buy with AKs you don't have so many nades, so to lose a player that early is pretty significant. And again, they just get a nice pick off there on Banana. And they don't even have to use much utility. They didn't even throw very much at the CTs, that is. And then they just can back away and play a bit passively.
Worth noting, they rotated AWP. So rather than Simple going to A, he will play his position with Edwards, and Flamey will pick up the sniper rifle. But is he going to outstay as well? Because it seems he is. Insta-traded by Zeus, but this round is all about kills for Envy. I'm sure that sniper rifle can be rescued, but that's not ideal. Now we'll see if Sixer and Kingdom can do any more. Doesn't look likely. Sixer, the last man standing. He hasn't got the CZ though. Maybe he can catch a reload, or he hears electronic repositioning. Got to look at the balcony area. Tries to come out wide, but Zeus has good cover. You can blind yourself. If you stand where Zeus is standing, if you're right in the corner, you can't see into Boiler, so you've got to poke out a little bit. So good positioning by Zeus. And it's 4-0 Na'Vi.
4-0 Na'Vi, yes. It's a smooth start for the favorites, the tournament favorites. And what I do like is the fact that they are just active on Banana all the time. They haven't been super committed just yet, going for these super deep Banana plays, but I'm sure that's to arrive at some point soon. Flamey now with the AWP. I saw one of the quotes actually on one of the break screens where Flamey said he would have changed the AWP. He thinks it's too powerful. And well, he's wielding it at this point. He's gone really deep. This is really cool because they haven't smoked it. I actually think that's a really cool idea. You don't often see that.
Yeah, Simple was actually, he was near construction, holding a grenade if required. But now he's rotated to the A-bomb side because they've seen absolutely no action towards B. And Flamey's in such a forward position with angle on the arch there that they can just leave 4 people. And it's telegraphed from Envy, but again, we do expect shortcomings in their T plays as they are such a new team.
Yeah, it's a bit too obvious, isn't it? Na'Vi really punishing EnVyUs right now. The question is whether they can actually use the 4-man setup to actually win the rounds. Got to follow through on that one. And EnVyUs have taken a fair amount of damage here on 2 players. And they're starting to... Ooh, dear. Okay, they're starting to make the move forwards. Quick pick off there. That's the bomb spotted. The full rotation comes in. Flamey's moving around now as well. And this is a slow burner here for EnVyUs. Slowly making their way forwards, but is it going to work out? Electronic defending from the pitch pretty precisely. 3 kills for him. Now a 1v1. Flamey in the mix against XMS. He's got to get the bomb, though. Oh, no. This is a rough spot. Wolf is ready, and Flamey nails it. 5-0. That was a close one. But as you say, James, a bit telegraphed that round from EnVyUs.
Yeah, they did get pretty far, however. They had 2 people very deep in arch. They had a split of the site, which is the most powerful thing you can do towards the A site. They got the pick on Library, but there was a great performance from Electronic here in the pit position. 3 kills for him, and he really kept it winnable for Na'Vi. He played his position to a T there. He won the round for his team. Just Flamey had to finish the job with a 1 versus 1. Simple and Edward towards the B bomb site, so a more standard setup for Na'Vi. And they keep changing things up from round to round. Flamey with the sniper rifle now towards the A site, looking down mid. So they're keeping EnVy guessing, who already are going to have struggles going into this best-of-3 series. And that will be compounded by Na'Vi's change in configuration every round. Now Zeus has gone to join them again. He's been very active going left and between sites, and he's made the right choice because the full push coming in with these pistols. Scream with the Deagle again, causing problems, and 2 plays being picked now for Na'Vi.
A couple kills from Zeus. Will slow down things somewhat. Simple sitting in the smoke. Ooh, Kiyoshima's going to be the one to get the better of that. And this might be a bit rough here now for Electronic and Flamey on the retake. Both coming in from the construction area. Ooh, hello. Looking for those wallbangs. Not offered up though. And I like this, starting to fall back. We have seen quite a few times where teams will, the CTs will be on the retake. They'll be able to make their way into construction and they'll fight for an extended time. And it's fairly clear that they won't be able to actually make the round work unless the T's make this a crazy overcommitment and mistake that they weren't able to get be able to get the frags to get the retake, and then they overstay their welcome. The smoke on CT spawn dissipates, and then they can't fall back anymore, and then they just die. We've seen that happen a fair few times. So I like how Flamey and Electronic realized immediately, look, this is not going to happen. Let's back away. That's the first round for EnVyUs now.
An unlikely round, but a round which offers bonuses since they weren't on the bye, and they take some weapons into this round. If they are to fail in this round, they will still have at least 3 AKs in the next one, so that is something for them. And the money's not really there for Na'Vi. Despite the 5-0 success, things can get expensive pretty quickly for a CT side. They start again with 3 people towards the B bomb site again. Simple is holding the grenade. Probably going to deploy one now as Edward trades. No fall back from that. Looking to retake again. Scream's ready for it with the AK-47, but Simple is quite the jeweler as well. He will win the joust on this occasion. Flamey top mid and Sixer will be facing him pretty quickly. I think he legged him, trying to finish him off with the grenade. In the meantime, Haji's moving towards the balcony, but he's got the bomb. So he has to choose his engagement wisely, because he could lose the round if he loses that bomb.
Flamey moves forwards. This could be a difficult one for EnVyUs to somehow salvage, but if they're able to open up onto Flamey, then maybe a window of opportunity will present itself. So we'll toss an incendiary, and that's going to be spotted, the trajectory that is, by the EnVyUs players. There's not too much they can do. Seemingly, Haji, though, does find himself a reward to that patience that he has been exhibiting there, just sitting in the apartment for so long. They line up for Electronic, but he can only get the single frag, and now all of a sudden it's a 2v2. Sixer posted up with the AWP. That's a fantastic look for him now. Simple is going to make his way through the smoke, straight into Haji's AWP. Very nice from him. He really opened things up for EnVyUs.
Smartly, EnVy realized they had 2 AWPs at the end, and Haji quickly switched up for an M4. Don't want a repeat of what we saw earlier in this tournament with 2 AWPs on the T side of Inferno. This is really important because especially after he gets that frag, they know the CT side exactly where the bomb is, but Electronic is unable to get both the kills on this occasion. And then Simple has to take a gamble. Don't leave me hanging. There we go. Marvelous. That's the round they needed. Na'Vi going to force it up, though, with the SMGs, MP9 on Edwards, and the UMP on Electronic. We'll see what Simple is taking into this round. Flamey continues to rock the sniper rifle. I think he's mostly playing A, or maybe spawn dependent towards B with the sniper as well. And it's cool that they can play hot potato with the sniper rifle between multiple players on different sites, because again, when it works well, it's a nasty, nasty surprise for EnVy. But opportunity knocks for EnVy to completely wipe out the money of Na'Vi. It's very early in this first map of this best-of-3 series, and they most certainly have a good opportunity to tie the score.
So it begins on Banana. And Navi, are they interested in really trying to stick around here, or do they want to just chill out? No, they go in for the double nade on the tree. That's actually, you know, fairly common in the meta. You know, you lay down all the incendiaries. There's not very many places to stand. The tree is one of the places you could potentially stand, and then he gets double naded, and you see the clear afterwards. I really like that from Na'Vi because, you know, you throw the initial grenades and you really invest in actually taking it. You actually invest in fighting and taking over the area. So I like that a lot when the teams do it, and it really puts the initiative back onto EnVyUs to try to make something work from a map control perspective. Do you respect Na'Vi just having banana, or do you want to challenge it? And I think that a slight challenge is good.
Shows you how much value you can get from a lesser weapon and more grenades as well. Simple over there with the UMP. Flamey, unable to get anything done, unable to escape. Simple does not have the ideal range of the UMP on this occasion, and this is proving to be a wipeout for Na'Vi. Kishima has sound cues for days. He's trying to do what he can, but it's a 2 versus 4 situation. Ed was almost in T-spawn. And again, EnVyUs is just trying to hold on to some space while he slowly backs away to save his weapon. So Na'Vi are having some difficulty now, and momentum is most certainly with Envy, and these CTs will most certainly be hunted. Pincer movement from them as EnVyUs moves through the B bomb site, and Edward moves up towards A to hold a line. Protects both him and his teammate. Now we can reset the situation once again.
EnVyUs, one thing we've seen from them in the past, especially when Haji joined the lineup, first of all, in that entry fragger role, he was very good at it. He's very good at opening up sites, and so far he's had a lot of really impactful rounds. Like if we look at 2 of the 3 rounds that EnVyUs have won, Haji was instrumental. You know, if Haji doesn't turn around and get a really fast kill there on Simple and the other entry as well, then this round could look very different. And if he wasn't able to get, you know, the kill from the balcony and the ult frags in a previous rounds, again, you know, it could have looked very different. So Haji really stepping up here for EnVyUs when he's needed, entering into that A bomb site like a star. And Na'Vi's money is getting a little bit thin here.
There must be players who don't like to fist bump every round. Oh, Simple onto his old tricks. Seen him do a lot of those before. But Na'Vi will need more than that if they are to be successful in this round. More rifles, but less primary weapons in this round for Na'Vi. And Envy, again, they've got all the tools to work with, but have they made the evolution to use them? That's the question. Smoked off from Banana at the moment. 3 people will be taking that for Na'Vi. Simple has a smoke grenade to deploy to replenish this. He's just having a look. And there it is. Edward will be rotating to A on this occasion, and EnVyUs is playing close range with the UMP, trying to make the best of the weapon, so that's a nice decision. Keeping it for himself rather than dropping it for his teammates, so there won't be any Reddit posts for this round. That's something to take into consideration. Based on position, maybe Edward plays with the UMP down the bottom of Banana, and EnVyUs has the rifle in library, for example, which would make more sense but might not be considered by those on the internet.
Just you know, casual frag through the smoke and the wall. As you do, Kiyoshima. We've seen some really awesome smoke frags from Kiyoshima yesterday on Mirage. They're pretty baller. Oh, gets some headshot action there from Scream as well. And that's the AK versus M4 advantage for you. They both get a shot onto the head, and Scream who has the AK, so he wins that battle. EnVyUs with a good spray for the smoke as well. 3 versus 4 thanks to him. But can he get anything else with this? His teammates are pretty far away at this point. The smokes are down. There's an ult post plant as well on Sixer. So in the interest of saving some weapons here, looks like his teammates will skedaddle. But EnVyUs, he's probably going to have to fight his way out of this. Yes, not much you can do there. Another round for Envy. They're having no problem coming back into this one.
Yeah, Na'Vi holding on to weapons each round, but they can't force every round. They're going to have to keep their money together to get a better buy eventually. So you do wonder if this is a run where they will choose to eco. The M4 for Flamey, the UMP for Electronic. One flashbang, might use it towards the B bomb site. Hoping Envy take Banana, try and lay a trap, an ambush play perhaps. Electronic can drop his CZ to one of the other 3 players, I think at this point it would be worth having an eco. And a tactical pause has been called for Na'Vi. So if this is me, Electronic throws the CZ to one of the other players. They've got 1 flashbang. Some of the players can invest, like Zeus has got $4,000 in the bank, and they are about to hit maximum loss bonus. So they don't need to play off that 1 flashbang. They could buy some more. But that is one idea they could consider. Ooh, Edwards trivia.
Ooh.
Let us see what they have.
In
an interview with HyperX, Edward said he got his name from the movie director Edward Scissorhands due to his hairstyle looking similar to Edward's when he was a child. That is awesome. That's legit lore.
Movie character, not movie director. Edward Scissorhands was not the...
I didn't think he was a director, but did it say director or did it say
No,
character?
it said character, yeah.
Yeah, not enough sleep, man.
You just read director.
Not enough sleep.
I would love to see the movie that Edward Scissorhands directed. Can't imagine being on that set, to be honest. Well.
Eerie silences. What's wrong with your hands? What's wrong with his hands?
There's such a weird concept for a movie. Tim Burton, why are you doing this? What a guy. Either way, Simple, looking to get something done, but he will be toasted. He will be cremated. Kishima gets the frag, and there's maybe not too much Na'Vi can do here if EnVyUs just push the issue into the B-bomb side, to be honest. Scream has an AK. He's looking for anyone to peek him, but... Oh, there's a flash coming in there from the T's. Flamey's in position by the coffins now. Smoke is down. Okay, very smart of EnVyUs not to go through that smoke. So they're just going to wait it out. They baited out some good utility. A good amount of utility, that is. 1 smoke left on Zeus. Extra rotation here coming in from Na'Vi. They're going to gamble on the B-bomb site a little bit. And EnVyUs doing the smart thing and sort of just moving around the map here, trying to sort of count the grenades, make sure they can bait everything out before they move in. And I think they've done so with decent time. They've left someone on Banana too to make sure that Screamer's here checking to make sure that the CTs don't push it, keep control of it, keep the option to double back. But there's only 30 seconds at this point though. Oh, they're going for it. Oh, this could be a bit scary.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have time for that.
The full rotation. But again, it's one of those ones where they don't leave anybody behind. And the sound is cut off. Let's see what Femi can do about this. He gets 2 at the very least, but Zeus is on the other side of the map, so maybe he'll try to scavenge something. Now, we've seen those kind of plays. I mean, Na'Vi weren't in the best of situations anyway, but we've seen those kind of plays against Astralis, for example, and it's just a complete sudden lack of sound towards A can be quite telling, and you see those early rotations from a team in a better position. So I think sometimes it can be interesting to at least leave one player to try and get something done. But they're content with the full rotation, and it works out for Envy. And they will tie the score 5-5. So Na'Vi will be good for the buy in this round, of course. This is the round we and they were waiting for. So let's see what they can do. But I'm interested if Envy try to offer such a fake in a full buy round versus Na'Vi, that might prove more dangerous. So we'll keep an eye on that in the last 5 rounds of this first half.
Scream, 1 taps. The Scream accuracy. You love to see it. It's always very satisfying to watch his aiming style.
800, 600 he plays.
800 by 600.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I forgot that res even existed.
It's hard to see stuff with the resolution so low. The game is sort of not really optimized for that, you know. It's very odd, but he makes it work. I think it's just a tribute to how you can pretty much make a wide variety of settings work in this game.
Yeah, like T-Crosshair.
Nah.
I'm out there, man. I'm out there. I'm trendy.
I like it, don't like it.
For me, it makes it easier to see someone's head because I feel like sometimes when you're the crosshair can get in the way. So for me, it's good. Envy offering something towards the B-bomb site, showing some presence. Maybe trying to bait some grenades out from Na'Vi, but they're not doing that. If you look at the utility on Na'Vi, they've got grenades for days. And the smoke from Flamey anticipates some nonsense towards B and some more substance towards A. So he will try to sabotage their plans. XMS now making it out of boiler quietly after isolating himself from the short position, or being isolated. Again, Na'Vi with some ruinous timings of these smoke grenades. Flamey is simply shoulder peeking the arch area. Zeus is deep in short, so he might not be really able to flash for him. Well, yes, he is actually. But now there's a potential wrap towards 3 bomb site. Simple's having to rotate around to construction, but there's only 3 players left here for EnVy. This might be difficult. There goes the bomb in the pit, and that should be the round. Oh, wait a minute. 6 to an XMS with stereo frags, and suddenly the A bomb site's open.
Yeah, it's just a rotation coming in from Na'Vi. They'll have plenty of time to do this. Bomb freshly planted. Fresh smoke as well. Okay, here's a quick boost there. Now maybe looking into the pit positions, trying to spot something. This is really good, you know, trying to get the information there. And again, the bomb was planted a little bit before that smoke went down, so you can sort of wait that smoke out and still have time to go for it if you get the kills. There's only 2 of them left, but you can see that. I'm not sure if that is frustration on Simple's face there, but yeah, you can see that they were not able to get the situation that they wanted, and they have to back away once again.
Edward's silencer conceded his position, which made it really easy for him to get picked. Wasn't the hardest of angles anyway, but such can be the curse of the silenced. You see it poke out there, boom. That's all the info Sixer needed, immediately adjust, and then it's just an easy click to take him out. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's 6 rounds in a row for EnVy, who now take the lead. Na'Vi buying once again, Simple with the AWP, 3 M4s and Electronic with the French gun. Edward has the M4 and no grenades whatsoever, which makes me wonder what their approach will be towards the B bomb site. It's Edward and Flamey towards B, so maybe they've activated Simple towards A in a more aggressive position to try and get some early advantages here for Na'Vi.
Na'Vi going to be fairly chill, and that's a fantastic amount of nade damage. Would you look at that? It's like 150 damage right there. Beautiful. And EnVyUs will keep pushing into the apps. They have no presence on Banana, and Na'Vi have played passively there too. And that is likely due to the fact that their nade situation is not perfect. And EnVyUs, I'm not sure if that is the plan, expecting a passive Na'Vi and then just sort of abusing that passive play by just moving everyone in the apps. Still, Na'Vi haven't really heard anything on the B bomb sites.
Because of the, well, perhaps partly because of the lack of utility, the passive play they're forced to have on the B bomb site means they don't really have any information. So you don't have those 4 plays you might otherwise have for Na'Vi towards the A bomb site. EnVy taking it really slow though, but they're getting pretty deep. They've got XMS in the apartments. Haji's got the off angle by the car position of the bomb as well. So there is going to be trouble. The numbers game might prove too great here for Na'Vi. Electronic on fire, trying to reposition, but still alive. He's got his teammate for support as well. Again, 3 frags in the pit area. Scream almost getting finished off, down to 2 HP. Got to be careful if he jumps. Oh, no. Dear. That leaves Haji alone versus Edward and Flamey.
Yeah, he must just have had no idea about his health there. Haji's been fantastic for his team so far. And now he's in the clutch. A great test of where he's at here so far today as he works the AWP. The AWP is a fantastic weapon for a situation like this. Now he spots the first player. What about the second one, though? This could get really risky. He really needs to isolate his first player. There it is. And the defuse, is he holding it? Oh, he's actually going for the full hold. Beautiful. So smart from Flamey. And Haji is going to be left with egg in his face, James. He just got outfoxed.
Damn, egg in his face, not even on, inside his face.
In the face.
Under the skin. 6-6. Na'Vi break the streak, but there is most certainly money here for EnVy. Only 1 player surviving for Na'Vi. Again, it's if you're on Team EnVy, it's a case of that's the best round that we could lose. They only survived with 1 person. We've got money. We can break them and pretty much take the rest of the half unless something goes terribly wrong. Simple and Edward will be towards the B bomb site. Zeus rotating to join him once again. Always nice to see an active rotator on a map such as Inferno. Some extra grenades to be deployed. Very late HE grenade, but still the smoke is up, and EnVy have been patient, so they won't be taking that damage. Edward, though, getting force-fed some high cholesterol.
Ooh, Sixer gets a pick onto Simple. Not a good look here for Na'Vi so far, as They are staring down the barrel of a reset, a severe one, as mentioned. The crossfire can be set up here. Zeus has to be really careful not to just get picked off when doing that. Does drop the smoke in time, however. And now there's a question for EnVyUs. Do they want to use the time on the clock, or do they want to try to flash through and play against the smoke? That's not going to be a good look here for EnVyUs. Down to 4 men now. Equalizing is Edwards. And EnVyUs still just hanging around the B-bomb site where Na'Vi still have, well, they had 3 players. They're going to rotate one back around now. They do have a really big gap. And there it is. CT smoke, and EnVyUs will march in.
No flashes for the T side. There's the glorious pull flash from a player in CT, which causes problems for EnVy, but you can see them slowly darting in bit by bit. Nice shot from Kiyoshima. That's a good start. And how many kills is Edward good for? He was in the red, now he's dead. That leaves Electronic on the A side. It's working out for EnVy. The numbers game. They are purely going for the aim duels here. The numbers overwhelming one of the sites. They're keeping it simple. So you have to respect that. I mean, we are mentioning the lack of lurker when, I suppose like you would have on old EnVy, the lack of presence shown towards one site while they go towards the other. But as a new team, they're keeping it simple. They're not overextending themselves. And in rounds like that, it's working pretty well.
Yeah, interestingly, they did toss a Molotov to the dark position where Edward was standing with about 12 points of health. But fortunately for Edward, he would have just died to the Molotov straight away. It sort of like exploded like just above the barrels.
Oh, it didn't connect
and
to
it
the
didn't,
floor.
Yeah, it didn't connect at all. Otherwise, Edward would have just died straight away, which would have been pretty cool to see. But yeah, you know, presumably that's somewhat of an improvised lineup or something like that. And again, like, does speak to the lack of routine, perhaps, and the change of the roles and this, that, and the other. So 7-6, EnVyUs are having an amazing time after that initial start. It makes you wonder, you know, how the game would have looked if they had won the pistol, to be honest. Now they've got all this momentum, and the T side for EnVyUs on Inferno has always been pretty good. In almost all of the iterations of the lineup, it's been a great go-to for them. You can see Na'Vi back to their old tricks. They were pretty good with this previously, but spray.
A noble attempt from Edward to spray down with the MP9. And those are that's the kind of variant that we have seen before on Banana, although I think that's the first time we've seen it in this game so far, and it's the second last round, so at least there's that. It is a difficult round here for Na'Vi, not just because they've lost 2 players, but 2 of the remaining 3 have pistols, and 2 of the remaining 3 are on the A bomb site. EnVy spread out. They have many advantages, and they're not going to quickly do anything. They're going to take their time. Not afraid to play in the sub 40-second mark. Electronic, though, with the tightest of angles. I wonder how he gets a kill here. Is someone going to stop right in this position? There's the flashback. Scream goes past, Scream spots, Scream swats. And that should be the round.
What I really like from Na'Vi, from EnVyUs, is that they saw the smokes on Banana and they decided just to challenge them. And knowing that they had their weapon advantage with a good flash or 2, you know, they can get the pushes going, and we see Kiyoshima just walking up and getting a frag. And that's also the thing, like, you know, if the smokes are still up, it's likely that the CTs are probably trying to play with the smokes, so you can get that frag. But if you wait for the smoke to go away, then, you know, you have no idea if they're hiding around a corner somewhere. There's a lot more unknowns. Maybe they just fell all the way back, and now they're going to be a harder frag later on. So I like that EnVyUs just, again, like, they do keep it simple. They do keep the basics here. And this will be the 8th round. The issue, though, will be the CT side. Like, the CT side could really look completely different for them. So I do wonder how that will pan out. But for now, things are good. It's crazy because if they manage to win this map and they're looking as clean as this, you do start to wonder if there's a chance. I don't think anyone would predict them to win this matchup.
We glide past the bench in CT spawn as we move into the final round of the first half. Na'Vi have pistols for the most part. Flamey has an MP7. Love me some MP7. We may or may not have shot an MP7 recently. And by that, I mean we did, basically. but with a twist, it's good enough. And EnVy charging through the smoke in a round where Na'Vi don't really have much going on, but now they certainly do. I would assume it was a burst play with a flashbang, which is perfectly fine, but for whatever reason, didn't work out for them, and they were on the receiving end of wrecked.
It's funny because they went into the only guy who had not a pistol, so very unlucky for them in that sense. But there's still a chance here, 2v4. Tixer will get a spot. Yeah, AWP is out, and they smartly back away from the AWP. But EnVyUs might be walking straight into Zeus here. I'm not sure if they're going to be checking for this. Ooh, XMS is quick to respond. Electronic, though, he can shut it down, but will he be able to do so? It's going to be quite hard to punish his position, and there it is. Caught on throwing a nade. XMS nowhere near him to trade, and now he's going to be in an unfavorable 1v1, and that's going to be that. 7 to 8, Na'Vi able to get one more round at the end, but that is not going to feel like a successful half for them, despite the scoreline being so close. I think EnVyUs they should be brimming with confidence.
Yes, however, now EnVy will be afforded the freedom of the T side, and they get the AKs, and we have seen in the previous match as well, those AKs, and over in Brazil, those AKs can make quite the difference. So Na'Vi may have an even more powerful half. Both teams have enough rounds on the board to not be crippled by losing the pistol round. Zeus will have the grenades on the T side for sets of Kevlar for his bros, no P250s, and no diffuse kit for EnVy. They're all Kevlaring up, want to absorb these bullets if they go towards the chest. Na'Vi not committing or over-committing to anything immediately. Flaming Edward heading towards the apartment while these three clear out the banana area and show some presence. And now, after all these pre-firing shots, they may choose to cut the noise, but you see Electronic still the point man with the bomb for the time being. And EnVy can't assume that just because there's no noise, there's no one towards B.
It's going to be interesting to see whether Na'Vi commit towards this A bomb site. They're going to go for this. It looks like they want to now. They're going to rally everyone, leaving. Zeus leaving Banana and rejoining the forces with a flash over the top. It's going to be very good. Blinding Hadji completely Scream just in no man's land in the middle of the bomb site. Can only get one before he's taken down. And Simple also giving Sixer the same treatment. And now it's a 4v2 in favor of Na'Vi. And EnVyUs may be thinking of saving this Kevlar, because how do you win this one? Piss around, I suppose, but still. Simple says no. And so does Zeus.
You've got to love it when you see Simple really trying to focus on precision aim, and you can see him wobbling. It's like he's trying to, how do I make the most efficient swipe of the mouse, and the wobble helps him do that. Just like that 1v2, infamous 1v2 on Cash. So cool that there's a fan here with the same tattoo as him, but mirrored almost on her arm. That picture was really cool, them together. EnVy with the pistols. Sixer not fully investing. Of course, he will be looking for the sniper rifle in a future round. Hadji, I'm sure, can hear the player jumping on the balcony position. Zeus moving up Banana, and he will have cleared that area. Some pre-fire towards the sandbags. Meanwhile, Edward with a nice position, and he catches Hadji off guard. Not often you see people on that balcony. It's always fun, though, on the short position when you have a player on the T side, or the CT side, boosted up and they hop over to the second balcony, especially when it's a T side looking into graveyard and into the A site. Can be the play that wins you the round, or maybe even more than that.
Easy for Edwards, easy for Electronic. Seems to be a formality. No issue with the force bite whatsoever, making it look like a USB eco, to be honest, with sort of the confidence and ease and grace in which Na'Vi sailed towards success in this round. And I'm kind of afraid for EnVyUs, because I do think that their T side is a lot better than their CT side, and so from that perspective, I do wonder if, did they get enough rounds? They did get a pretty huge amount of rounds. Like, they can have loads of chances, but I think overall Na'Vi's quality could be a little bit fearsome here in the second half. Would love to see more excellent stuff from Kiyoshima yesterday. He went off. Him and Scream were just going off all over the place.
And I think it's agreed that they must, if they are going to have a good innings, the team, if they're going to have a good innings on this map. Just looking at the spawns on the CT side. Okay, 6 has got a middling spawn, but it is not a buy round anyway, so the spawns are inconsequential for this one. It's a money-making round for Na'Vi. Edward will continue with the Mach 10. Seems pretty chill. Saw him in the spa yesterday evening. I think he was in a sauna. I was in the steam off.
Yeah, Na'Vi love the spas. Always in the sauna. I don't blame them.
Who doesn't love a good spa?
It's true. Actually, in Eastern Europe, they have a thing called banya. I'm not sure if it's like specifically sort of like certain countries in Eastern Europe, but I know when we went to Ukraine, we were I was shown an authentic Ukrainian experience, which was banya, which is like sort of like you go to a cabin out in the woods by like a river or a lake or something, and you know it has like a sauna. You know you eat meat, you drink vodka, and you get a massage with birch leaves whilst you're in the sauna. And then you jump into the lake, and the lake's freezing cold, and you just do the same thing over and over again.
Let's be specific, Dan. You took your clothes off and a man beat you with a stick.
Oh, birch leaves. Got to be,
birch leaf.
be accurate here. Birch leaves.
I got a new lapel pin, which is a fern, which is quite nice. But there's no...
Cats love ferns.
No,
I learned that from Garfield the cat.
No blazer today, no suit jacket today, sports jacket. In the gaming chair. 10-8 in favor of Na'Vi. So 6 will be starting with the M4. I don't know if this is due to an overinvestment or if he's just happy to start with the M4. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Doesn't always hit the mark with the sniper rifle, as noted by the desk, to put it lightly. 3-2 set up for Envy. Scream and Sixer will be towards top mid, but interested to see how they will deal with the B area. Kishima spotting for the time being. So is this an execute from Na'Vi, or do they initially want to bait some grenades? There's a minute 10 on the clock. There are 4 of the players towards Blana, and Flamey had an angle to cut off rotators through mid, but he's joining the team as well.
Yeah, looks like they are trying to bait out nades. Or are they? Maybe not. They're just going to go with this. I guess there was no reaction for the CTs, and so they do go with it. Maybe that's the protocol. And, oh my god, it's a wipeout. Absolute no-show from EnVyUs on the B bomb site. I wonder if that was the protocol there, because it did kind of look like maybe they would try to bait out nades, as you say. It's like really early in the rounds. But EnVyUs, they didn't throw anything. And so I think Na'Vi just like...
Well, Na'Vi didn't throw anything either.
Let's go. They threw 2 smokes.
Oh, they did?
I'm pretty sure they did, yeah.
Well, I mean, Deuce lined one up, but then he didn't throw it. And then he's kind of going back and forth. But yeah, I mean, a page out of Envy's book. But a faster burst. Envy, in a number of rounds, they put all the forces towards one site, but they slowly edged forwards and focused on the guns and not even the grenades, really. Or at least not in the fashion that Na'Vi just did. That is quite the burst. Bursting with blood vessels. High pressure on the B bomb site. And almost a complete wipeout. Might even be Haji trying to hold on for dear life. Na'Vi running towards him, trying to kick his fingers off the edge of the cliff. But he'll survive to see another day. At least now Envy will have a good buy on the next round. 4 HEs purchased by the CT side. So we'll see how long they can delay the deployment of these grenades for, because I think most teams are doing well to avoid grenades at the beginning of a round down the bottom of Banana and so on, but they are deployed quickly and they do absolute 0 damage. We did see a round from Na'Vi on the CT side where they heavily delayed some grenades towards Banana, and I don't think they did any damage either, but the idea was there, and I think that's more appropriate for the constantly evolving meta on Counter-Strike on Inferno.
Yeah. Oh, it's not looking good for EnVyUs, is it? Right now. They're fighting for their lives. Fighting for their lives. Although they want to get a couple of frags back here, and the bomb's not planted just yet.
Ooh, look at the bomb. The bomb's down on short.
Hanji's been having a bit of a game so far. He's going to hit a running. Is anyone covering his position? Simple's not looking. He's in the cubby. And Hanji's definitely never checking that. Yeah, that's... I was afraid for Hadji that Simple would just decide to go for info. And easy kill. Easy round. 12-8. Na'Vi a mere 4 away. And EnVyUs might never get a chance to get going here on this second half.
That was nice from Simple. Something we don't talk about so much for the purpose of people at home who might not be so familiar with plays like the one Simple are doing. I think a lot of people would just stand and hold an angle 100% of the time. He was low health as well, but you know, peaking every 3, 4, 5 seconds has its benefits as well. But I think it probably requires deeper explanation from someone the likes of Sean or Jordan or someone like that. 4-round lead now for Na'Vi. They're only 4 rounds away from the first map. Envy will come back in for the buy, and Sixer goes for the sniper rifle. And that does make me wonder. I mean, maybe they just wanted a different approach on their first buy round, but I do wonder why he didn't go for it in the first round. But now Sixer and XMS will both be wielding the big green guns. Heritage Green, the AWP is in. It is a British-made weapon. And the bomb's been left at the bottom of the ramp. Envy charging on the buy round. Before this tournament, there is a trade. They've only lost 1 player, Envy. This is going very well so far. But at some point, you do wonder if you want to reset to a more traditional setup. Simple, last man standing. They continue to hunt. But that means he might get some 1v1s. And he is dangerous. And he has a lot of time on the clock.
It is rare you see this sort of play work out so well. And I think EnVyUs do have the liberty to do this with this sort of ragtag group of players that they have. And again, we've seen how they've sort of just changed up the roles and so on. And they want to play more aggressively, and that's something that they've been doing. And this looks quite humorous. Is anyone going to drop down? Simple really just wants to kill here. He just wants to get the kills.
Trivia, on Old Inferno, that was a piece of wood, and if you were at the end of it, you could see, you would come up on the radar even if you weren't visible.
Ooh, nice little pop flash. Simple's he's been practicing his pop flashes from the crawl space, I'm sure. And he's working his crawl space like a pro. I mean, he is a pro, so no surprise there, I suppose. What else can you get? Nothing. Okay, that's good. That's great. 12-9. Good effort from Simple, keeping that effort alive. And maybe EnVyUs can, off the back of that aggression, get some momentum here.
Yeah, in the mid to late, it's weird. I don't know if there is a best option in the mid to late game when you're that at CT side, because they had a hole in their defenses, which was second mids later on once they moved down to the T ramp position. But there we go. It does work out for Envy. That's a great 1 round. You can't do that every single round, obviously. See how far Sixer opts to go with the AWP. Got to be focusing on second mid now. So it is okay to go towards, well, to aim towards the crawl space in most rounds, but looking towards T round is an arduous task. Scream saying hello, running distraction. Hadji's on a balcony, but not in a position to peek into apps for the time being. And no one's in a position to throw him a pop flash. But even if there was a pop flash, it's such a narrow channel that you could get pre-fight anyway.
Lots of flashes as they burst into the A-bomb site. Hadji is clear for a headshot. Gets traded out though. That's all according to plan for the Na'Vi boys, as the motor area is now smoked off and Sixer has no access to stop the bomb from going down. And there's no one really that can do that on the EnVyUs side. They sort of just have to wait now for the smokes, and they also have to make a decision. They have no money really, so do they go for this? Maybe if they get a quick frag, but not looking like to be the case. And there is plenty of utility remaining on Na'Vi post-plant. This is just a no-go for EnVyUs. They need to abandon ship.
Yeah, that smoke, that re-smoke is an instant GG. You're just throwing money away if you try to push the round with 2 sniper rifles. The intent was for XMS to be in library looking towards the site, which does not serve easy shots for him. And Sixer to look towards the graveyard position, which is, I mean, you need someone to peek you, basically. So it was a horrible spot for Envy. And I think the chances of winning that round were super low. Very, very low indeed. So it's good for them that they hold on to these 3 weapons, especially because they won all of 1 round, and now their loss bonus is in the bin. It's in the bin with the raccoons, the bin juice, the empty packets, the rotting fish. Not very nice in there. Na'Vi 3 rounds away now. EnVy will buy around what they had. And they've got a fairly strong buy with these 2 sniper rifles, but they might need to get more aggressive to get an early advantage and stop Na'Vi doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah, definitely no mid-rush happening this time. Simple watching for the balcony push though, and yeah, this is good to see from Na'Vi. Just very aware that EnVyUs do want to play actively, and that's a tendency that they have been showing. I mean, we saw that from the mid-rush as well, and so they're taking a slower pace on it. And speaking of playing it actively, EnVyUs have actually given up the banana position. They are stacking 3 players there and playing 1 on Archer and 1 on Pitch. So pretty much everything covered here, and without really showing their hand, the extra man on banana could be a most unpleasant surprise for Na'Vi.
Looking for the boost. He knows someone is ahead of the corner. Very nice spot to bomb. Instant info. Able to run back and run distraction. Kishima has to fall off though because the flashbang is good. And that could have been a huge coup for EnVy. Are they aware of the potential? Someone to be in construction. Absolutely. But Electronic doesn't realize that they knew he'd made a play. Na'Vi not really getting anywhere at the moment. There is a gap in the smoke, but no one's going to look through that. And I don't know what the situation is elsewhere. Haji has a line, as you can see. And that might be a play for information. He could run balcony because he has an off angle. There is a kill on Edwards. And now he can start to move away. Simple use on the run. Screen moving forward in the arch area. And Haji on the... I think he's staying on the balcony, or is he underneath? Either way, they're in a good spot. Yeah, he is underneath in the pit now. So it's a really difficult spot for Na'Vi. Offering the fake. Not what he was doing there, but be 1 kill for Zeus. Simple's made his way onto the site. I think Haji's just let him in. And they'll be comfortable playing retake. Now it's Simple on his own. 1 versus 4. Haji in the pit. The grenade flying in, taking half his health away. 6 what?
What the hell?
Oh, my days.
That is hilarious. I wondered what the hell he got. Simple got shot with there because I saw just a headshot. I thought the headshot. Look at the top right of the screen. It's like, what? It's AWP?
I guess the crouch jump, he's landing on the box immediately. He's confident for the shot. And that was quite something from Sixer. Na'Vi planted the bomb, however, and they've still got money in the hole, so nothing but pressure coming the way of EnVy, still with their 2 sniper rifles.
I gotta say, like, there's so many ways that play from Sixer goes wrong. So many ways. Because that's like a quick scope, he's jumping onto a box, he's alone, he's not gonna get traded by anyone. But, Kiyashima, he's going to be starting things off very nicely here. I like the aggression from EnVyUs. They put, 3 on banana again, but this time they played with aggression to take control of it. And now they quickly have 4 on A, so banking on Na'Vi going towards A now. But the great play from Na'Vi at this point will be to just immediately say, we're going to challenge the smoke. As soon as the smoke blooms, flash, go in with 2 or 3 players with good spacing. That would be a really good way to do it. Because what would happen then is that also, the AWP would go back onto the B site. A rotation would happen where you pull the 4th player back onto the B bomb site, and then you have a guy sitting on banana, and then you can make then you can take top hits. But as it is, it's a 1-4 setup. So, and it's pretty easy to flash Sixer off of this position. You can throw one over his crosshair, and as you can just see there, and he gets blind and he falls back onto the bomb site. Now we get the rotation of the CTs.
Yeah, Kishima rotating, leaving XMS in the arch position. XMS, the only person with a smoke grenade. He had a bait set up with Kiyashima. I was wondering if he would rotate towards B just to drop a smoke and fall back because Kiyashima was in a library position, but they were concentrating on the bait towards A. And now Sixer and Kiyashima will be against 4 players here for Na'Vi. Make it 3. Sixer pushing through the smoke. He gets a good position. He can still play around this fountain. The Molotov helps as well, but he's falling back into the deep corner. Play jumping on the box. That's a great shot on the barrel position. Edward Electronic, he's bought time for his team. Look at the rotation now. XMS in construction. 7 seconds as the bomb goes down. Screaming Haji and CT.
Yeah, that bomb ticking away now. CT's breathing down their necks. However, XMS, will he get an angle to take anybody out? So far, it's not looking like that could be the case just yet. With the player on banana, depends on how deep he's going to peek. Edward Electronic now on the bomb sites. That's going to need to be so good here. That Molotov absolutely perfect, I think. Oh, no, maybe not. Electronic has actually got a lot of space to just sit there in the corner. Another 1v1 for Electronic as he moves in. Hadji has to move into the flames of their own incendiary. That's an absolute disaster. If that was placed correctly, there's nothing Edward can do. Or Electronic can do, that is.
That is a disaster. Oh dear.
Oh my god, if they just taken the time to bounce it correctly, he's dead.
Probably would have been hard. I mean, the guy's literally in a dark spot, and it's hard to see through Molotovs on a good day. So I do wonder if he could even see him properly. That is a problem for Envy. And what has it done to their money? They have lost quite a lot. 6 of that taken out. I thought he might have gone to the pillar for his engagements, but expecting a player on the barrel position. He got a nice shot there. But now there are huge problems for Envy. They've got to forget about that round and just focus on this. No one on Arch for the CT side. See what they're trying to do. Jump on a balcony, perhaps? Does Flamey hear any of this? I don't know. Now Scream can keep an eye on the boiler position. And if Short is smoked, he could opt to jump on the roof to mount some kind of defense before they move into the Arch position. You see smokes being lined up for Na'Vi with Flamey in possession of the apartments area. So even if Scream did jump, well, he won't need to now because it's Arch that has been smoked. So the peaks will be coming in. Oh, he gets flashed by the second one as he fall off, but he will be a brief distraction, but they can't capitalize on it.
Scream's ready and waiting with the M4 as he looks for the peak. The flash goes in, he gets the first kill. The second one will not go his way, however. And it's down to Hadji on the pit position as he waits patiently. XMS has support with a flashbang. There it goes deep. That's going to be Hadji peeking with it. However, where have Na'Vi gone? This is smart from Na'Vi. It's a 4v3. They got loads of time. Well, perhaps not loads. They have time. I should not use loads as a description there. Let's see. Okay, so lots of harassment towards B, throwing nades at B, trying to pull rotation. Oh my god, is it going to work? It actually works. Oh, poor Hadji. He's 1v4. This is a disaster for him. It's the first kill, but surely he goes down at this point.
The Molotov through the smoke on the balcony gives him a clue, but he can't get that second kill. But XMS is in a great position. Look at the time on the clock. It's even a faker reposition, maybe anticipating what might have been going on there. What a play from Simple. I do wonder.
How does he know?
Yeah. I guess he realized with the smoke down that was possible. Kiyoshima's made this winnable, though. What the hell was that? Kiyoshima versus Edward. 23 HP. Moving back in case of grenade, perhaps, but now with some pre-fire, though. Edward with an elevated position surely has a winning play here. No! That's crazy from Kiyoshima. How's he won this round?
Oh my god. I don't think anyone ever expected that. His long-range spray down seems so consistently good at this tournament so far. New my days.
What did we just witness?
Okay. Ooh.
Dude,
oh, wow.
he adjusts for it as well. This is not, he's got 23 HP. Edward's in the sky.
Oh my god,
Oh,
he gets the
doesn't land a
headshot.
single bullet.
They found it hilarious. Wow, that is just unbelievable, isn't it? What a savior, Kiyoshima, lifting the team in so many different ways at this tournament. Not only is Kiyoshima sort of, and as you said, you know, like as he's leading the team, helping to organize people in ways that they find fun, more suitable roles. He's putting in a lot of lifting. He's lifting heavy burdens for the team here.
He's wedged, Dan. He's wedged.
He is doing some great work. Honestly, that's such a turnaround because
I thought you were going to say doing some steroids.
Na'Vi probably had EnVyUs dead to rights if they lose that round. I mean, you can see that their money is just not looking good after this.
That was a safe situation. The round was over.
Oh, man. He kills Electronic. I think that's like the second guy with that long-range spray down with maybe 3 bullets of the spray. It's pretty impressive.
That pause was a tactical by Envy, by the way. Na'Vi still in good spirits there, despite the horrors of that round.
Their money's gone, though. Imagine if they lose this round.
Imagine if they lose this map. Then things might get more real. For the time being, you know, sometimes you have these anomalies, and you just have to accept that. And it seems they've got the mentality there, so they're not going to be triggered by this. But if they lose, then they may look back to that round. So all eyes on round number 26. Sixar has the sniper rifle once again. XMS and Kiyoshima with a different setup. Kishima standing on second oranges this time. Traditional setup, if you will, towards the A site, but a lack of info towards Banana. Na'Vi weren't shy of aggression to take control, have an idea what was going on. And on many a round, EnVy have kept it simple and just waited for these players to come to them. But if they lose the B bomb site, if these two players can't hold to the 5 of Na'Vi, surely the round is over.
And Nays will soar into the B bomb side as the push comes in, and Electronic is the first man. Flick comes in. It's not going to be working out. These EnVyUs players doing a fantastic job initially on the defense. And they will trade it up, though, as an even situation, which is now quite favorable for the defenders, which is Na'Vi in the post plant. And an AWP is on to Sixer, but is there going to be a smoke? No, there is not. Flamey just out in the open. They're going to meet them out in the open. I can't believe it. And they absolutely smash EnVyUs on the retake.
I don't know how Sixer missed that shot with the sniper rifle, but you could see the frustration. Sometimes the easiest ones are the hardest ones to land. And indeed, I mean, EnVy did really well to get 2 kills from those 2 CTs on the site. Kishima had to come out from a difficult position where angles are being held. So it was amazing they got that far. And the funny thing is, if they hadn't got those kills, maybe EnVy have 3 weapons in this round instead of a bunch of pistols. So just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now it's time for Na'Vi to close out game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Next map will be Mirage. We'll see if this is the last round. It's up to Na'Vi to decide. So far, so good.
Yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it? We got very weakened Edward and Flamey, but otherwise 5 men strong. And they've got loads of time to play with. Sixer working the apps here, going to find one of the weakened players. Edward's going to be taken down. Nice follow-up there from Sixer as he nails Electronic. And it's the 3v3 here as Sixer can pick up an AK-47. And he's going to flash his way back out into safety there. He's going to be sitting in the pit. He could offer up to his teammate on Arch to just go for the full rotation at this point to try to reinforce that B bomb site, considering that he has a very strong weapon in the pits.
Yeah, he is running. Simple might hear him from the position Simple was in. Coming onto the barrels now, but he has conceded his position to XMS looking over the smoke. And now Flamey rotates the bomb back, but Six is full rotating towards the site. XMS he can't see, but he can hear that nothing's going on. So now position has been completely conceded on the A bomb site. They're going to come back from the arch position. Juice is making his way towards the pit, spotted, and Sixer holds a very important angle there. And now Flamey is alone with the AWP. 20 seconds, 1 versus 3. What does he choose to do here? He has...
Ooh, this
look at the money.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, this is weird because Edward's going to have, or rather, Flamey's going to have a terrible buy when his teammates can buy. Because he's not going to get any money surviving after time. Sure, he'll have an AWP in the next round, but his teammates, do they want to force? I don't think they should. They have enough money to, if they save one, they can buy the following round. So that is interesting, isn't it? Very interesting indeed. I guess they're just going to have Edward on a terrible...
Wow, those are 2 great headshots from Sixer. Is it too little, too late, however? They're pretty close.
And he's not the player you expect to be making, those kinds of plays with a deagle.
Yeah, yeah. EnVy tactical timeouts at the moment. And you do, on a side note, you do wonder if, sometimes when you don't have the most consistent performances, if the criticism gets to you like it did with Smiths, which he admitted afterwards. He became the team's main AWPer. I can't read that, it's too small. And there's someone in the way, never mind. Well, this is still a dangerous round. Simple will be full 101% FPL mode in this round. He has the AWP. The rest of his team have pistols, Flamey on an MP7. In a round such as this, however... Oh yeah, Kenny gave him his Dragon Lore, which is called the Magic Stick, if I'm not mistaken.
But I don't know why... I'm surprised about the force buy just because... Okay, sure, there's an AWP saved, but if they just wait one round, everyone has full AKs, full nades, except maybe Flamey, who has, like, same buy as here, but with more nades. So this better work out for them. That's all I'm saying. They're on match point. Game point, that is.
I was going to add, one of the important things in a round such as this is that you keep the numbers on your side, for Na'Vi that is. If you need to stay alive while Simple tries to place for some picks, so you can use those numbers to collect weapons and swarm a site when they're weak and there are holes to be exploited. if his team were overly aggressive before he can make an opening, then he would essentially be in a safe situation, and that would be quite ruinous. So you have to give your teammates space to work with, while at the same time, maybe you have one person as cannon for the jumping past an angle or something, depending on the map, etc., so on and so forth. The numbers are as important as the AWP in this round.
And they're struggling to really get a pick here because EnVyUs are not giving anything away. They're playing ultra passive in response to what they see from their opponents. And it's going to be time to go in pretty soon here. Simple's going to have to do some magic. Let's see if he's got his magician's hat on in this one, as time is starting to run low. 35 seconds to go. As Zeus is going to be checking the CT spawn area. He'll see nothing so far, except right at the end, their screen by the trellis. And he's having none of it. Flamey, though, for the follow-up. Ooh, pre-firing around the corner. You got to love that. 3v4 here for Na'Vi to try to take A.
Ooh, the bomb, can it go down? Somehow, Simple makes it work, and he's still got the AWP. The no-scope, he makes it winnable for Flamey. Flamey has position. Envy are out of position. Oh, boy, I can tell you something about this later on, but let's see. Flamey could be anywhere. He could be in the pit, I think. I don't think XMS had the angle. He could be in the pit. He could be even on the balcony, on the site, in the graveyard. Can he get through that? That's a strong position for him. Going wide, but he's so close. Kishim of 19 HP. So we had Haji in the corner of the site, and he had the last smoke grenade for the team. And there were, what, 22 seconds left? And he could have smoked off Arch, could have smoked off Short, but he chose to put the smoke in on the corner of the site, so he has advantages if they try to push the site, and if they try to plant default, he can just spray them. And they did try to, well, I think they faked. I think that's why Simple rotated in that round prior as well. I think he might have done the same smoke, but eventually Simple was able to use that smoke to get a plant. And I mean, that was pretty close.
Did they force again?
So it worked against them. Well, they've got more money because of the... No, they've left money in the hole.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah, that was a close one. I actually thought that Na'Vi were going to win that in the 1v2, but it was not to be. And maybe the map win is not to be. EnVyUs is still looking focused, still looking confident. They've got a good amount of weaponry here. Some nades from Na'Vi though, so they'll be up to no good on the top mid position very shortly. What tricks will they pull out of the playbook? Six are going straight back to the A-bomb site, playing very passively. Very passively indeed. Na'Vi still biding their time here. There's just under a minute left now. And once more, they have not really pressured anything towards the B-bomb site just as of yet. It's a bit of an unknown quantity for them. So they're quite committed towards A. 40 seconds to go now, and they're starting to show some face. Ooh, are they going to go to B? Oh, this could be awesome. Have to take down the XMS, and they're successful.
Kirishima against Game Point versus a horde of pistoling players. I don't think he can hold the B-bomb site, but maybe, just maybe, he can hold the destruction. They're lining up for him. He knows the numbers there, trying to conserve his bullets, being really smart with that. The Deagle now, 1v1 with Electronic. Electronic not going to engage. They need to focus on the site itself, and he's being flanked. Can he get his real in the time? Oh, he keeps going wide, but Flamey will pick him up before he can fire a bullet. Haji and Scream at the front of the site, spotting the T by the fountain. The bomb is down. He doesn't get the kill. Simple and Flamey in the red now. But it's a 2 versus 2. Flamey with the M4. Who can engage first? Sixer now alone in a 1 versus 2. Flamey might have just done it, trying to get the trade fragger. There he is. Flamey, though, rotated already. And Sixer does not have a kit. He has no diffuse kit. And there it is. That's the game for Na'Vi. A pistol round to do it. 16-13 over Envy.
Big performance there from both teams. I mean, there's a lot of turns in that game. It was very, very hard to predict who would actually come out on top in the end, considering the economy situation for Na'Vi, considering some of the confidence we saw out of EnVyUs. EnVyUs are looking pretty damn good. They could have taken that map.
Yeah, that was a noble comeback attempt. There were a lot of rounds being traded back and forth. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 traded rounds in a row, whereas no one got a consecutive round in the middle of that second half, which was pretty damn crazy. A lot of action to be discussed by the panel. Over to you, Paul.
Thanks very much, James. Yes, plenty to be discussed after a 29-round thriller between these two. Na'Vi come out on top in the end, but they were made to work very hard for it, not perhaps why our panel members thought would happen in game number 1, Sean. That was a lot harder for Na'Vi than we thought it would be.
Yeah, Na'Vi needed both pistols, both first guns, so 5-0 starts on both halves, and they still eked that out on a force buy to win 16-13. In my opinion, honestly, EnVyUs was the better team in that match, but I mean, sometimes, all of the little things add up, like the pistol rounds and the eco rounds, and you just can't overcome something like that as an underdog.
Yeah.
That's what happened to EnVyUs.
Life of an analyst is never easy, especially when you use the words, if Edward top scores, then Na'Vi should easily win this game. And he did top score.
He did.
They didn't quite easily win this game.
No.
Likewise, on the other side, you were saying Haji, really important. We've talked about Keo, we talked about Scream, but if Haji can have a really good game, he stepped out of his waves, putting on the board.
Yeah, definitely did. What I was most impressed, really, was the fact that since Na'Vi got a flying start to their T half, then Envy actually really showing a lot of aggression on their CT side to kind of stop Na'Vi to have the space to do their executes, which are very super dangerous, as we saw, for example, towards the B bomb side. I don't think there was a single round there where Na'Vi was going to the B bomb side with their execute and they didn't have at least the 3-on-3 situations, which is a very winnable after-plan situation for the B bomb side. You would, favor that for T sides, actually. So Envy really doing a solid job. It was only once toward the tail end where Envy was playing maybe a little bit more timid, that Na'Vi was given that room, that then the rounds started getting really, really close, and Na'Vi should have actually gotten a couple of them. Kyo with an amazing 1-on-3 first of all. Incredible. She should have never won that one. And then, funny enough, at the end it's going to be that CZ round. Again, a B hit coming in, actually a split B this time around from Arch side, due to a bit of defensiveness, passiveness from Envy allowing that to happen, and a 2-on-2 situation that then eventually will not beat the map.
Yeah, I mean, Zeus must have been laughing his head off in that 29th round. He's like, right, okay, we don't have enough money. CZ buy, guys. Oh, shit, I've only got $900. Well, all right, I'll CZ again next round. Guys, it doesn't matter. Let's just go. And then they win the round.
Yeah, it was actually a really, really sick play by them, too. They did, A smokes. Obviously, they showed lane presence. So what that does is it pulls the B guy into spawn close range. The guy Arch rotates into the site. And you saw they got a 3-on-1 on the spawn guy, overtook him. And Kiyoshima actually made a heroic play to get a 2K there. The late round kind of fell apart. Haji probably shouldn't have peeked that guy Coffin, and Sixer kind of looked a little bit off in the 1-on-1 at the end, not too aware of the spawn angle. Yeah, I mean,
what's the game awareness here? Because that looked poor, didn't it?
Yeah, this is more the pressure getting to him, I feel like, in that situation.
Yeah, I don't really think that's too. You can really look into that too much. I mean, what Na'Vi did really well, honestly, is their B exec. EnVyUs showed a lot of aggression, like Najee said. I was surprised because when they were down 5-0, they hit them with a mid rush. Next turn around, they played super aggressive banana. They got opening pick, and then there was another round where they got an opening pick at bottom banana, and Na'Vi did this B execute that they did multiple times throughout the half, worked every single time, and it's super sick because they throw a flash off of the wall that goes into first oranges. And I can't remember who was actually, I think it was XMS playing there. He stood no chance when they were doing this exec and he was first oranges. So it's definitely one to look into.
Yeah. The other notable thing on my my notepad says simple, very quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a bit of a trend this tournament, hasn't it? He's not really had the kind of a tournament that you usually expect from a guy like Simple. But then again, it showcases just the quality that this team has. Edward, Electronic, Flamey, Juice can chime in there as well, and they can still win these games. Obviously, that to an extent it's a positive, but then effectively we will definitely have that one Simple performance at least coming up, and he will once again reign supreme. Scoreboard
on screen right now. The biggest thing for me in this scoreboard, and I don't really pay too much attention to frags and what have you normally, but if you just check MV's scores right now, 19 for Sixer, 19 for Haji, 19 for Keo, and 19 for... we made the point earlier on that if they're going to win this game, they've all got to step. It can't just be Keo. It can't just be Scream. They're all... the other three need to deliver too, and they've shown us they can do that in this game.
Yeah, indeed they have. Team effort, and something I was super impressed about is that on their T side, where they scored, 8 rounds, which is phenomenal. On the Inferno T side, you're looking good at that point in time, unless you're playing Na'Vi and they get the pistol round, and then feels like they get the ball rolling. But regardless, they played a really good T side. One of the things that really struck me was when they played slower rounds, they managed to bait out the mollies out of the CT's hands, and then they had the executes coming in. They would go quad, and somehow, usually what happens if you go quad and you get kind of stuck in that space, means you're dead more times than not. But actually, Envy managed to capitalize most of them because they had a guy coming out apartments and he had the exact right pace and to come in and trade the kill on the guy in pit who took an angle to take a shot towards quad. Kill the guy in pit. That opens up the whole bomb site and makes it much more easier to enter the bomb site. You can go wrap around the lane, you can go directly through the boxes, and it makes it really hard for the players in the bombs to try to defend anymore. So that was something really cool to see from Envy, that they actually had a really cool pacing.
MVP for this one, Sean? Do you want to pick someone out?
I have to give it to Edward. I mean, he showed up. Yeah. He played really big in super pivotal rounds. Either Edward or Zeus, which is shocking, right, going into that. But yeah, I'd go Edward.
Look at how baller he looks in that picture, Jim. Definitely worth an MVP.
Doesn't need the gun. He looks baller anyways.
You know what he's talking about, the beards in CSGO?
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there with Forrest.
He's definitely top 5 beard game.
And another one is Havoc. I think someone pointed that out on Twitter.
I saw that tweet.
He's also got a pretty glorious beard.
It is a glorious beard.
Yeah.
Well done to Edward. He gets our MVP for game number 1 in this semi-final. We're going to take a break right now, but don't go too far away. Get ready for some more fireworks, because I think this is brewing to be a very good series indeed. Envy, far more competitive than we first thought. What can they pull off in map number 2? We'll find out very shortly.